I guess we are live. Hi guys, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hope you are enjoying 2019. So today we have Sunny and our CTO Gu and myself. We are going to cover some of the hot topics that we have seen in the community, and hope you guys enjoy the deep dive series, which I think in the deep dive series we provided a lot of information about all the things that we are doing in VeChain, from enterprise solutions, mainnet technology research. So there's a lot of information. So if you haven't checked that out, I encourage you to spend some time on it. So today we're going to, I think, how this live stream work. Well, Sunny will give us a little bit speech about a kind of a recap on 2018 and talk a little bit more on the 2019 strategy and our plan. And in the next session, we will address some of the questions from the community that we collected on Reddit, and we are also going to answer some of the questions from the live chat. So let's get started.
Yeah, it's quite a casual conversation
Right.
from us. Well, 2018 honestly it's been really exciting. It's been a fun ride. We have done lots of things. Well, the number one would be like mainnet launch. We did our RTO like in 2017, and we spent 10 months, right? About 10, 11 months, and to bring the mainnet launch. I still remember the morning. It was like 8 o'clock or something.
You were late.
Yeah, I was like calling the traffic, and when I rushed to the office, by the way, elevator was up, so I was like running from stairs but actually I was arriving 10 seconds before the mainnet launch. So we took a historical picture with all of the technical guys. It was really interesting. Also, we did lots of things like from product and technology. We bring up MPP, MTT, that kind of the enterprise-friendly interfaces or technical features. Yeah, and also in terms of events or community build-up, I think we had a really fantastic run to bring lots of people. We got like more than 100,000 people follower in Twitter, and more than 45 in the Reddit channels. And also we attend. Well, we start from February in Singapore. It's our rebranding event. Well, I love the video actually. I really love the video. 7 people try to build up a new world. The future is in your hands. That kind of spirit. And also we attend the consensus in May. I did a kind of interesting panel discussions. I think you guys make a lot of memo with my facial expressions. And in terms of partnerships, again, VeChain, I think everybody agrees, VeChain got the biggest partnership, business partnerships, let's say, in the crypto world. Lots of interesting projects ongoing, and the most exciting part is with DMVGO and PwC. They are like big partners. Honestly, that kind of that is our strategy, how to expand the business applications on the VeChain blockchain, by leveraging such fantastic partners. Recently, DMVGO just launched My Story last night, and 5 or 4 Italian wines, will be the first batch, and you guys can see the transaction volumes going up because of that. So lots of things happening in the 2018, and for sure 2019 will be the new milestone for VeChain. And well, honestly, 2018 was like, or maybe we can say 2019. January 3rd is the anniversary for Bitcoin. It was like 10 years ago, and the entire blockchain space just passed a significant milestone, which is a 10 years anniversary. Honestly, the first 10 years is kind of like any kind of new technologies. We even can call it like dark forest period. People are trying and exploring the different usages or different use cases, applications, technologies, and there is no rules. I think the only one rule is just try to survive. and the entire blockchain space, experiencing lots of pumps and dumps, good or bad. But it has been like really fun and exciting development for this technology itself. And now we're going to the next decade, or it's a starting year of the next decade of the blockchain era. So our strategy, or honestly, I believe, just like the internet technology, blockchain is going to change the world. How to do it? I think it will be exactly like the internet. Think about 20 or 30 years ago when internet starts. I mean, the first decade of internet technology, basically sitting in the lab, like even the military lab or university camps. The scholarships or the technical people are trying to build up the tools or play with the technology. But when internet goes to the mainstream, going to the people's life, start to impact the people's life, is actually made by some kind of killer apps or killer products. And we summarize, it's driven. It was driven by enterprises or by business. I think that's the only way. I think it's the same thing going to happen to the blockchain as well. So I believe the next decade for blockchain, the trend will be massive adoptions. Going to people's life, daily life. People can experience and use the product services built on blockchain, but you don't have to understand what is blockchain. You don't even feel like blockchain is running, but you can enjoy the benefits from the blockchain.
It would definitely be driven by the business model that actually supporting the real economy.
Well, yeah.
Because just take an example like the mobile payment in China. Like previously, there are mobile payment or online payment on the internet, like doing something like completely virtual, like online gambling,
right?
Or this kind of thing. But the mobile payment or electronic payment really boom up is because of in China, especially in China, we have so many scenarios, so many use cases that you can use mobile payment for
like
buying
convenience stores, restaurants.
That's when it really popped up.
Yeah, I agree. So I would say, I believe, firstly, it's going to be massive adoption, but also I believe it's going to be driven by business, or directly to say, it's going to be driven by enterprises. So that's I think we are focused on. Our number one target for 2019 is quite simple. Is try to bring more and more valuable transactions on the VeChain blockchain.
Enterprise applications.
Yeah. So when I say valuable transactions, it actually contains two sides of the ideas. Firstly, we need more transactions. That means more people to use. That means more applications running. That's for sure. Also, we need to make sure the quality of the transactions. Those transactions need to carry out the real business values that can generate the business values. That can kind of lead to the sustainable development and growth of the applications. Imagine if there is an application, without the positive revenue or kind of value generating or supporting the real business, I mean, it's not going to sustainable. So if we're looking for the continuous growing of the blockchain use cases or applications, we need to make sure, or we're gonna embrace those applications with business values. They can generate the value to the different use cases to make people are really using it every day, and then it's gonna be sustainable, right? And all our work, like continue to build up the infrastructure of the blockchain. Even we have been talking about going to the next version of the blockchain for the blockchain core of VeChain Store is also to support that, to support more enterprise applications, to support more sustainable applications with values, and also the features, the new features we're thinking about, even the sidechain, the cross-chain, or even some hardware security module, the privacy we're thinking, or go for that, or to try to support this. And for sure, the community is also the top three priorities we should take care. Because blockchain is about community. Luckily, we have the best community in the world in the crypto space as VeChain Community, right? But we're not going to satisfy the current status. We're going to continue to grow, not only for technical people, but also for business development people. So that's why we are targeting to launch DevCon in the kind of middle of April, around the middle of April. Well, the detailed date will be announced soon. So the location we choose probably in the Bay Area. We didn't finalize the exact location yet, but it should be very soon. Noah is working on that. So welcome to join DevCon to find out more. We're going to demonstrate, the tools and services we bring to the blockchain of VeChain, and to support the different, the industrial use cases and different enterprises. And also, last but not least, I think the compliance and regulation are going to be a very important task for us as well. Actually, in the past 2 or 3 years, we have been dealing with lots of enterprises. We are thinking about, try to use blockchain technology, or try to explore something with blockchain technology. Most of the case, they find the difficult part is legislation or regulation, especially to those listed companies. They have lots of things to think about. So I think legislation is a mainstream, and also it's a very important or necessary task we should achieve, to eliminate, the barrier for enterprise go to crypto space. And I think it's not really like the job for VeChain. It's a job for everybody in the crypto space. But let's do that. We are in the front row, right? And we should be the pioneer and to achieve that. So in summary, I would say our target for 2019 is valuable transactions. That could be very simple. And to break down the detailed task, I would say the number one is we're going to continue to build up the blockchain core and also the tools and services to support that. And we will engage more and more enterprise applications, and also along with the community projects, DApps, even ICO projects, and also number 3 is compliance and legislations. So that's what we are focused on in 2019.
Yeah, I can just add a little bit on that, like how, like Sunny just laid out our strategy. Like I can add a little bit on how we're gonna get there. Yeah. So I think, as Sunny mentioned, we are the most important target for us in 2019 is to grow the valuable transaction. I think I saw one of the survey in from the community. Actually, since maybe in the last 4 months, actually the transaction on our main actually grow very quickly. Yeah. Actually, we didn't notice that because we just focus on keep building the application. But actually, it's when we look at the chart, actually a pretty good result, and we expect that this kind of growth will continue. And also we will, in terms of the developers, actually we are going to launch some new products. Like I think Tosha Labs, they just launched the commit. So now the VeChain app actually has an environment to run the. People can access the app from Chrome with a commit. But actually, probably next week, we will also launch another DApp environment, which is called Sync. So some of you guys, if you actually look at our GitHub, you will see there's a project has been very active. It's called Sync. So this is going to be I would call a full-fledged DApp environment with an integrated wallet. So it's designed to provide very good user experience for.
It's open source now.
Right, it's open source. Yeah. So it looks like when you open it looks like a browser, but if you're accessing a VeChain app in that browser, actually you can very easily interact with the app. You can sign transactions. You can even verify your identity. So that will be probably released next week. And part of that, actually, we also going to release a standard protocol for the apps to interact with the blockchain and users. It's called Connect. Maybe Google can.
Connect is a new interface. It's lightweight and rich function, and also very well designed. you can use developer can use this interface to develop some of the apps. Of course, there's also a Web3
Right.
so we also include this kind of two interfaces.
Right, we'll support Web3 as well as Connects, but we believe that Connects can provide a better user experience, like lightweight. But it's up to the developers to decide which one they prefer. So the Sync client will be the first client supporting Connects, but I think in the Toshin Labs release, the Common will also support Connects very soon. So so I think
step by step.
Yeah, we are looking forward to the feedbacks from the community and developers on these products, and also like one of our partners, Morpheus Lab, so they are also going to provide a integrated development environment for the VeChain, VeChain blockchain, VeChain DApps. I think once those tools are out, I think it will make much easier for the developers to come and develop on the VeChain. And at the same time, we will also launch some campaign to encourage developers to submit their idea. Of course, we will encourage developers to develop at the apps that with real business value, like infrastructure service, and we will run some campaign and provide some reward for the developers. So and maybe and one thing, we also have some updates on the research project, right?
Oh yeah, research project. Actually, I just got some updates from our chief scientist.
Right.
Recently, I think you guys already noticed, like VeChain got listed in the media labs of MIT. I think we're the first one of the blockchain startup
Only
there.
blockchain project, I think.
Well, you have IBM over there, right? But anyway, and also we got Damos.
Right.
Damos, we just signed a deal with Damos, and we're gonna have like a research group to help us for the security, especially on voting.
Right.
They will provide some research fundings and suggestions for our voting platform.
Right.
And also, we just got a deal with Stanford actually. Are we able to say that now?
It's confirmed.
Well, yeah, it is confirmed. We're gonna focus on zero knowledge protocol, like a bulletproof protocol. I really like Dr. Dembele. Actually, I just featured him in the panel of Forum 2.
Right.
It was a really interesting discussion, or let's say debate or argument between the consortium blockchain and the public blockchain. Some big enterprises from China, they also set up the blockchain team, but they're focused on the consortium blockchain. They believe the future is consortium blockchain. Honestly, I think that linked to one of the questions I just saw from Reddit. People asking about the side, why we focus on the sidechain or Crosschain, that kind of the technology. Maybe we can answer now. To most of the enterprises, most of the time, the first choice for them is consortium blockchain, at least for now. Right? And they like to think about, I need to control that. And I need to some kind of
privacy,
business confidentiality. The consortium blockchain, like Hyperledger, they have a CA to control people who access the data.
If you want to access the Hyperledger, you have to have a CA. Both for user and both for the machine.
Which I think it's understandable. Think about the early stage of the internet. When enterprise start to play with that, they build up the LAN network, right? But now, when you see that, people don't talk about LAN network anymore. They talk about the cloud, they talk about the internet, mobile apps, that kind of thing. So I would say, I'm not saying like the future there will be no consortium blockchain, only public blockchain, but it will be like mixed together. So that's why we need to focus on and continue to deliver the sidechain and the crosschain. For most of the enterprise applications, some of the applications could be running on the consortium blockchain, providing the privacy, providing the
storage, privacy, maybe security.
Security, business confidentiality, that kind of thing. But also, I'm sure they will need to somehow interact with the public blockchain. The public blockchain will provide, more open interfaces, more collaborations with different enterprises. Even in the future, there are competitors. The enterprise could be competitors, but somehow they can collaborate together. like we are building up the carbon ecosystem project. It's like we don't set up the barriers. We don't. It's really open source. It's public blockchain ecosystem. Anybody can come in and play together and achieve the same goal, like saving the planet, that kind of thing. So that's a reason. That's a reason.
Yeah, but based on the sidechain, we have also designed a mechanism for the crosschain.
Yeah.
Because the VeChain soft blockchain is a part blockchain, and we designed the sidechain. Then there should be a mechanism for the data provenance and maybe for the value transfer from the public blockchain to the sidechain.
Yeah.
We have designed theoretically we have designed a mechanism there, but we need to make it happen.
Well, yeah. Again, I mean, for most of enterprises, they are focused on solutions other than technology itself. Technology is our job, or the entire developers community's job.
Yeah.
And that's why we did Swift, for one of our searching. And actually, I think the testnet is.
Yeah, actually, the Swift, the first version of Swift has been finished developed last year November. Yeah. Actually, the testnet is running now. Yeah. But we, for blockchain, there's still a lot of work to do. Yeah. So we have to, for example, maybe some guys in the community they want to join us to help us to organize.
It will be one of the bounty projects, right? Yeah. I think the sidechain in Swift language we can open up to the entire Swift developers. Yeah. I remember, if I don't remember wrongly, I mean, Swift community is 16 million. I think 16 million developers here. Well, if they want to play with blockchain, that's the place they can play. Yeah. So I think for the next job for us is to finalize the documents about Swift, so we can push to the developers. I think that's one of the very important things, like for us, to build up the different portfolio, different type of developers. Yeah. So Swift is just one of them. Yeah. We can go more and more later on. Yeah,
Swift is the first step. Next, maybe we think of the next generation of VeChain blockchain. There are a lot of things that we need to consider.
Oh yeah, I mean, based on I think that's one of the key tasks for us. Yeah. Is to think about what going to be for the next version of blockchain core or VeChain, right?
Yeah, I think the most important account model
I agree.
The bottom. It's the basic and bottom.
Fundamental structure for that. I agree with that. Honestly, I think we already see some of the requests from business team about let's call it structured account. Yeah. The account could have different levels, different layers, and they could fulfill different use cases or different DApps, even with a different address. Yes. But all belongs to a mother address for an account. They can have lots of the different.
Yeah, but address maybe the address should be memorable and recognizable.
I agree.
Now the VeChain blockchain address is just a hex.
Yeah. It's not. It's like the other blockchain.
Yeah, it's not memorable. Right. So next version maybe we will think of it as for example, like alphabet or number from 0 to 9. This combination of the alphabet and the numbers help to easily to memorable.
Yeah. And also, I think when we talk about the next version of blockchain core, we talk about structured accounts, and also I think modularize the coding. It will be something really interesting because right now, if you try to reconstruct the entire blockchain or recode the blockchain,
you have to
the whole thing, right?
Yeah, you have to read all the source code. I mean, you have to be clear all the things, all the modules inside the source code. Yeah, it's really difficult for most guys.
Yeah, especially for newcomers. Yeah, it's gonna take like really long time for them to understand that and to pick up that. But right now the trend is try to be modularized, and lots of people can work together. Yeah. Somebody can focus on virtual machines. Somebody can focus on wallets.
Yeah. Or it should be plug and play like that.
Yeah, and so that's a very challenging task actually. Yeah. And so that's number 2, and number 3, I think the privacy, anonymous, and like zero knowledge proof, or bulletproof protocol,
Yeah.
like from Dan Bernay. I think we have lots of things to run together.
Yeah, also for like searchable encryption.
Yeah. Well, back to the. I think we
Yeah.
are kind of off the topic.
Right.
Back to the research topic. I think it's, we are trying to meet the gap. For the research team, they're the academics.
Right.
They're studying the technology and research, but they're looking for use cases. They're looking there. When I discuss with Dr. Dan Bernay, I think his angle is like, if you guys can find some real use case to use my technology and use my fundings or researches, he will be like really, really excited. That's what we do, right? So I think fundamentally we just try to meet the gap, build up the bridge, so we can continuously to get the result from the research or academic and to the use cases.
Yep. Okay. I think before we move on to like answering those questions from the AMA, I think there's one point we want to add. We also provide a lot more support to the VeChain projects. Like I think recently, since OceanEX was launched, they're providing us also a lot of support to the VeChain projects. I think Safe Haven got listed on OceanEX has been doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think there is some like a co-marketing they've been doing together.
Right. Yeah, you will see more collaboration between VeChain and VeChain projects, or between the VeChain projects.
Well, that's the idea. I mean, everybody know now is like a bearish market.
Right.
We got many bad news from the entire market. People or the project get downsized or lay off the people. Even some people just disappeared. Unfortunately, it's tough time for everybody. So I think the whole idea of VeChain family, VeFam, is the entire ecosystem. We can support each other. We can hold hands like really brothers and sisters, and go through this bear market and achieve the final success later on. So if we are united together, we definitely we're stronger. So that's the whole idea. So that's why I'm really happy about the result. OceanEX, etc. just the first. And I would say more and more that will be coming.
Right. Okay. So I think we can move on to those questions from the community. I got some. We picked some most asked questions. So maybe we couldn't answer every one of them, but we'll try our best. I think the first question is regarding the authority node identity. People would like to know when or do we have the plan to release those identities and what will be the timeline, things like that.
Well, I think I answered this question like for many times. People still, I guess people just not really satisfied my answers. But honestly, it's quite tough and challenging to enterprises to reveal that. Not only about the business confidentiality, the security concerns. Most of challenging part, I think, is about the legislation, especially to those listed companies, right? Even they just try to build up applications, or not mentioning about setting up an authority node. It's you have to find the right way to disclose, and find the right way to convince, like the legal department. Accounting department, try to. So that's why I think the legislation is one of the tasks we have to deal with. We have to push. Actually, we just signed an MOU with Cyprus, and not going to be the only one. We're also dealing with the different small countries first. I think they are small. They could be flexible. They could be really innovative. So when we build up some kind of crypto law or legislation to allow the different enterprises can set up a small entity over there, providing a special services for crypto or deal with crypto, that could eliminate the barriers for enterprise going there. So in summary, I would say we respect the participants of the Australian nodes. Someone like DNVGO, they already announced, and finally they
and on that one, actually it took, since DNVGO announced they will be the one of the authority nodes.
It took a long time.
Consensus last year, but it actually took
half a year, I think.
almost 6 months or 7 months for them to clear that
Yeah.
that initiative with their legal and compliance.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do have some progress. So we
Right.
want to leverage that experience and work closely with
Yeah,
other authorities.
Well, at least the DMVGO set up a very good example for
Right.
the others. So I think for the future, if anyone, again, we have to respect the participants, especially to those enterprises. If they want to disclose or they want to make it legitimate, let's say, we have examples.
Right.
We can replicate from what DMVGO just goes through.
Right. Yeah, okay. So move on to the next question. It's about Sidechain and Crosschain. So is there any update on Sidechain and Crosschain development progress? And I think we kind of explained that.
Yeah, we just.
I think people ask this question because it's kind of on our roadmap. So maybe Gu, do you have any?
Yeah, I'll maybe give some more comments because Sidechain actually we have finished developing the first version, Swift version of Sidechain last November, and now we still need a lot of work to do. So if guys in the community who is familiar with Swift language, you can just ask us because we wanna first phase we wanna just disclose the source code maybe in private phase, and second maybe will be in public phase. So if you guys are interested, you can just send a mail to us or
So in summary, the Sidechain solution is already up and running, but we do want to in 2019 we do want to find an enterprise or use case to actually put that into production.
Well, again, whatever the Sidechain or the Crosschain, I think it's driven by business needs, right? Also about the Crosschain, actually, well, we're not able to say right now, but we have been working on this especially to try to set up the Crosschain with some, like consortium blockchain, most likely for business use cases. I think technically we're quite confident. We already got ideas, even a couple of different options we can try.
Yeah, but still need a lot of work to do and do some tests on it.
Well, for sure.
But Sidechain and Crosschain is a part of VeChain's ecosystem. So
Okay. So the next question, I think it's about what's the progress about the VVID, VVote, and VSCC. I think for those modules, again, it's driven by the needs and the use cases. Actually, for those models, we already have the prototype, and we launched the VVID beta on the VeChain portal.
Right.
So we don't want to rush things and make it finalized because we want to understand the needs and keep it more flexible to actually meet the needs. So for example, the VVID, we launched the beta, and it's mainly now at this stage it's mainly used for anyone who wants to apply for authority. You have to identify yourself with the VVID process, and in the later stage we will add those functions that allow people to request identity from enterprise, or enterprise request identity from people, so people can authorize this kind of request with their private key. We are adding this kind of function, and also the VSCC is also it's actually also developed. We will also add those functions in the.
I think for those three, even like with smart contract libraries, we have been talking for a while, and technically, it's ready.
Right.
Like the smart contracts and the interfaces is ready. For example, like voting, we can do the command lines right now to do the vote, right? But we just need to, again, it's going to be driven by the business needs or use cases.
I think these are all the infrastructure of the blockchain.
So for example, VVID is like Kevin mentioned, it's in the beta version, but we're going to throw the question to the entire community, how to use that. Is there any use case to use that? Actually, we already find some use cases, we're working on that. And also for the VVote is the same. Foundation is going to use that. And we're also working with some like big countries right now. They're trying to put voting, or try to explore, let's say, the voting for on the blockchain, and definitely that could be the use case.
But for voting, there's maybe several kind of voting there. The first version maybe we have developed the first version for the blockchain governance voting. A second version it's like for I think the social voting.
Yeah.
It's like anonymous or anonymous.
Or like an election,
Yeah.
or even the president running.
Yeah.
So I always say it's like the voting. Besides the governance of the VeChain itself,
Yeah.
We also need. I'm not really satisfied right now about the output of VVote right now. We need more scenarios.
Right. Yeah.
For example, when you run a president, right?
Yeah.
What kind of voting system or what kind of voting rules needs to fulfill?
I don't think the technical is a problem because
No.
for this voting, it's a process
Yeah.
or like a legislation.
Yeah. But basically, the technical prototype is ready.
Yeah.
We just need to find the proper use case and to deliver one by one for that.
Okay.
And also for smart contract certification and libraries, I think we're going to put that into the innovation labs, right? So basically, you guys will have more details. Innovation labs will be like a portal. You are able to find lots of information, materials, including like R&D topics or papers or fundings, or even some people from community they can propose or they can raise up some requests like I like the anonymous ideas or not. Let's say somebody wanted to make anonymous coins on VeChain, right? And maybe they can assemble a task force on the innovation labs and start to work on that automatically. And from foundation point of view, we can look at the topics and lists, and then we can once a while, let's say once a month, something like that, we can pick up some very interesting projects, and we can put the bounty on that, put the sponsorship on that to motivate people who are doing interesting projects.
Right. So Innovation Lab is actually just an internal name we use. We are trying to figure out a nice name, but it's basically a platform for developers or community members to find information and interact with each other.
Yeah, basically it's like for any newcomer, right? You go to Innovation Labs, you can spend a week or two, and then you get all of the information on that, and you can start to build on. It's kind of like a training center, right? For
Document and also there's a small environment. The guys, the new guys, beginners to initiate the new, for example, the smart contract. To learn it. Easily.
It's a project on our priority list.
And also you can find the different tools, and you can directly access that. And also like R&D topics, if you wanted to contribute to one of them or want to join the task force, you can welcome to join.
Yeah, we also will put some thinking packages on the Innovation Lab. So all guys who is interested in development, you can just find your resources and focus on your applications without considering all the bottom layer. For example, the node deployment and SDKs and all the APIs.
I think that kind of leads to the next question about enterprise projects, right? I think I have to clarify something here. VeChain Foundation is not the team to build up the different projects. We start with some. We start with some like the business projects, like with luxury brands, with H&M, with BMW. It's like we're building up the references. We're throughout the leading examples to the community. But the VeChain Foundation's responsibility is to enable more and more people, more and more small team or established companies. They are able to develop blockchain applications on VeChain. Where our major responsibility or major task is going to be, providing tools, convenient tools and services, or assemble, or providing templates or turnkey packages, to allow whatever the business developers or technical developers, they're easy to build up applications on that. Remember, we are focused on the blockchain. We are expert on blockchain technology, right? Or maybe IoT as well. But we cannot be expert on every industry or different, portfolios. So one of our strategy is try to find the perfect partner like DNVGL. They are facing, multiple different industries. They are serving 100,000 enterprises. When they are able to build up some application like My Story launched yesterday. It could cover food safety, cover wine, cover traceability solutions, even the supply chain management, and they are able to serve multiple different enterprises. So their work is kind of like helping us to do multiply. If we stuck in that kind of building up project for one enterprise for another, it's gonna take like ages, right?
And I think the next question I will kind of cover that a customer onboarding a roadmap or process, because I think just like Sunny just mentioned, at VeChain our role is that we worked on with a lot of enterprises, we build blockchain application for them, but the purpose of those projects are setting as an example or pilot
or reference,
and we learn a lot of experience from that, and we understand what are the components of turnkey packages that is needed for enterprise to build application on the blockchain. So later on we will share those things and open up. So to enable the enterprises to when they are comfortable with public blockchain and they are trying to find a chain to build the application, I think they will automatically go to VeChain because we already have those.
So basically we were like educating the entire market. I think those reference or those projects we have been building for the different enterprises. There are multiple let's say benefits. The first one is setting up the examples like you mentioned. The second one, we learn from that. We accumulate some experiences. How to deal with different enterprises, how to build up the interfaces or application on the blockchain, how to integrate with the current enterprise applications, right? Or even how to combine with different technologies like IoT or artificial intelligence. So those experiences we are going to share with the entire community through the DevCon. We're gonna motivate and incentive the different people, different the teams in the community are able to build up applications easily. And also third is when we are learning, when we're dealing with those enterprises, they providing feedbacks. Honestly, the blockchain is still in the early stage. It's like we talk about the modularize, it's quite difficult for newcomers to go through the entire codes, right? So these kind of the feedbacks or needs, let's say, will guide us to build up the new tools or proper tools and services on blockchain. So those kind of things are help us to help everybody in the community to enable more and more applications. So like it's a people's work. It's not like only one main show like for a blockchain.
But for those partnerships or the clients that we announced earlier, actually a lot of them are already on the mainnet. I think I actually looked at the report yesterday. There are already over 20 enterprise projects running on the mainnet. For example, the My Story and the Mayful Goods, the DIG and ENN. And the luxury brands, but their applications are already running on the mainnet. And some of the partners that we announced earlier, they will be our technical partner. Like they will work with us to provide solutions for their clients. Because we will make them expert on the development on the VeChain blockchain.
But again, I mean, maybe people just get used to the crypto speed of. In the crypto space, right? But actually, to the normal world, to the traditional enterprises, it takes really, really long time. About the green bunnies, we find. So I forgot about that. But actually, you guys can guess how many time, like how much time, when we start to talk to them, or until the day you guys can find out it's on the shelf in the London store. It actually took 14 months. It's very simple application, right? But it requires lots of, I would say innovative spirits and try to, and also the business process needs to be modified as well. It's not really easy. But I have to say that maybe we took 14 months, to achieve from 0 to 1, but it could just take like 14 weeks from 1 to 100. Or maybe 14 days from 100 to 1,000, that kind of speed. So most of the enterprises, they try to explore and they build up the POC. They try the small category of the products, and then they will take time and to polish that, to improve that, and be ready to expand. So again, it takes time. So
also for BMW project. Although we cannot say much, but it's also
Oh, yeah.
moving.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we are almost at the third phase of that
For
project.
the face.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the phase 1, phase 2 has been finished actually. So now they're moving to phase 3. I'm quite excited actually because they are. Well, again, I'm not able to say too much. I really want to say like they're open up and not only limited to the automobile industry. I think that's the whole idea of the blockchain. You're able to collaborate with different enterprises or different players, achieve the same goal, like a carbon project, right? You got like a food company, you got a certification company, you got automobile company, and even like garbage dealing with the garbage dealing providers. Different industries can cross together, but they're all aiming the same goal to save the planet. So that's the idea of the blockchain actually. So
Okay, we can move on to the next question. So the next question is about this TPS or scalability.
Right.
It's asking what will be the process to scale from like 50 TPS to like 10,000.
Actually, I don't think the TPS is the top problem for the real cases for the application.
Yeah.
So actually, for VeChain Store blockchain, there's the mechanism to dynamically change the block size of the block. So theoretically, there's no limit for the TPS, but you know there's hardware limit. It's not software limit.
Or environmental or infrastructure limits.
But we focus on the solutions for enterprise application. The TPS is maybe some companies ask what TPS VeChain is.
I think whoever asking what TPS is probably doesn't really understand the industry or the use case, because if you are only talking about like coin transferring, it's very easy to estimate TPS. If you look at our mainnet, most of the transactions are smart contract transactions. So it costs much more gas than a coin transfer. So the TPS is really not
a more complicated smart contracts for sure will be like more consumption of the gas. Again, like we said like million times before, instead of asking how much TPS you can go, it's like how much TPS you want to have or you're expecting. But the governance model of VeChain is designed for this. We're not going to like Bitcoin or Ethereum. When you try to switch from POW to POS, you got a pain in the ass. But the 101 authority knows, and the proper governance is designed for that. We are able easily to upgrade. So
I think we want to leave a little bit time for the question from the live chat, so we can move quickly on. The next one is why there are some reverted transactions. I think this is easy. It's the same reason for any blockchain. Maybe you're out of gas.
Actually, last month I think maybe the guy sees a lot of reverted transaction last month. From our development we have 3 phases. For development phase, test phase, and the staging phase and production phase. And each phase we will do some test. So some reverted transaction we intentionally do that. So we just want to make it happen.
I think it's instead of answer that in a technical way, most likely in the process way. It's when we launch some applications, we not only us, but actually we kind of require every developers or our partners do proper testing. So when you find a kind of reverting up transactions, that means we find some problems or some place we need to improve, which is good. Usually it happens in the trial phase and testing phase.
The next one is about in-transaction POW. I think that's one of the concepts in our white paper. It's already in the source code.
Actually, the VeChain Store blockchain support this, but it's not the problem of the. I think the technology can be used in the application, but it's not limited to the VeChain's wallet. I think all applications can use that.
So again, to find the right use case, we'll be happy to support it. Oh, by the way, I think we can jump in some comments on that. Besides the services and tools we're going to provide, we also want to build up a dedicated task force, to provide the technical support, global technical support. We're gonna set up a global team like Follow the Sun.
Yeah.
Maybe 3-4 people in Shanghai and a couple of people in Europe, a couple of people in US and Singapore.
For local support.
For local support, and they all can come back to the core team for technical support.
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of going freestyle, we want to build up this kind of technical support team to any developers, any technical teams. They can shoot the questions, chat with us.
Right.
Even if you have a really, really big project, we even can provide some on-site support.
Yeah, after we have launched the innovation lab, maybe a lot of document and source code and thinking packages, and even there's a forum there.
Yeah.
We can discuss with all the guys.
Okay. Developer support, I think we covered that. The innovation lab will be the platform for for you to find the information.
Yeah, but actually we have released a lot of source code in GitHub.
Yeah.
Right.
So you guys just go to our GitHub.
Yeah, we want more people to look at the source code and actually. And I think the VET address being humanly readable.
We already explained that.
Someone is asking about the Rust language.
Yeah, this is for the it is for the smart contract library.
Right.
Language,
For
smart contract. Yeah. Actually, VeChain blockchain supports Solidity language.
Right.
Yeah.
By now, I think the Solidity language is the best language to support smart contract because this language is designed for smart contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't limit to that. So we are now working with some teams. To design some more language to support the smart contract.
Yeah.
But from my point, I think there's several points we have to consider to design a language for smart contract.
Security.
The first, maybe this language should be cross-platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second, it should be very popular. Because,
Right.
It's not popular. There's no guy to support it.
Yeah.
Finally, I think if you just want to use a language, maybe it's a traditional language.
Yeah.
We have to provide a rich library.
Yeah.
Even robust library there
Yeah.
to support the smart contract.
Yeah. Well, actually, in summary, let's say Rust is still in our roadmap, but we just need to, evaluate based on what Gu just mentioned.
Right.
Again, we're the one to get things started.
Yeah.
After the DevCon, we want to have more developers to join us, so we can even run parallel for the different projects later on.
Okay. So I think we still have a little bit time, like less than 10 minutes. We can pick up some questions from the live chat. There's one question talking still related to Crosschain and Sidechain. Like how does the VET and VeThor will be integrated or with the Sidechain, or how maybe Sidechain will also have their token? How will that?
Actually, Sidechain is a permission chain.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a consortium. So it should be used freely.
Right.
Maybe free. Maybe free of charge.
Right.
Well, it really depends on who wanted to build up the Sidechain. What is the use case for that?
Right.
Yeah, but if you want to send some information data to the main public blockchain, you have to pay on the public blockchain.
Yeah. So we didn't finalize yet, but the most likely the authority node will be like the connection point between the sidechain and the public blockchain.
Yeah.
And take a very simple example. If you want to swap the value between the consortium blockchain and the public blockchain, and you might need to deposit, make some deposit into a smart contract in the authority node, allow you to do some value exchange or transfer in the sidechain. When you come back, then you can release, whatever you deposit in the smart contract, something like that.
Yeah, because sidechain, the permission chain is not public.
Yeah.
So you have to ensure all the values. For example, you want to transfer value from sidechain to the public blockchain. You have to ensure all the values on the sidechain has been destroyed or locked.
Yeah.
Then you can make the unlocked on the public blockchain.
There's a question about the status of BYD. It's rather like the digital carbon ecosystem. What's the status on that?
Well, BYD is one of the few company to started with us together. More important is DNVGO to kick this out. Actually, I'm quite excited about the progress of the carbon. I'm sure we're going to release more details later on. But we have been working with again, like I said, we get things started, and we're motivated, we're enable more people to join us. So right now, for example, for BYD, they just started with two type of cars. One is Qing Pro, and another one is Tang. They start to implement applications on the car, so drivers can collect the carbon tokens from that actually. And then they were thinking about expanding to more type of the cars. And another progress is we are been working with not able to say the name yet. We are working with a really reputable global organization. That's a really exciting part because that's gonna open up to more, not only to China, but also more to different countries or different industries, more people to join. So that's really exciting. So I think we're kind of in the MOU phase right now. Once it's ready to go, we will be able to announce. But with that kind of a partner, they will be helping us to get more enterprise coming. And also for the carbon products, we're going to build up kind of like a standard packages for the different for the different roles or players, like the carbon generator, carbon supporter. So anyone join, they will have like a standard package to say, okay, I want to be a supporter, and then I just integrate the SDK, right, and interact with your own business apps. Or if you want to be a generator, that's gonna be like really they will be a little bit more complicated because we need to find a way to describe your activities and using the smart contract to describe that. And also DMVGO will be the one to do that.
Certify all the seeds.
They need to find a way how to digitalize first, how to collect the data, and how to certify, and how to calculate, proper token back to that. So that's
okay. I think we can pick one last question. I think someone is asking. I think when he met Jerome mentioned we have some small business demo kit that can be provided to startups to start some service very quickly. I think that's kind of I think that's talking about the standard products that we have internally to onboard those. I think you guys have seen recently a lot of like fashion brands. Clothing companies, they start to use our service. The reason we can onboard them very quickly is because we have this kind of standard product. So those companies, they don't have to do any development. They can onboard easily and start to try out and experience blockchain. So,
well, that will be available in DevCon. More comprehensive packages, including the menus, guides, and how to use that. But actually, it has been put in use for some use cases. For example, like Intersect with the Swell, several weeks ago. They easily to build up that, and even like Japanese tea, they're using the kind of tool. We barely give them like any technical support, but they're just using the tool and start to launch the products.
I think during the DevCon, we'll provide different kinds of like Gu just mentioned, different kind of turnkey packages, turnkey solutions. Some of them may require zero development. It's targeting small business or individual business owners. And some of them can be customized. Require some level of development, maybe not really blockchain development, but application development.
It's about
really the different levels.
It's about the product standardization, targeting to the different users.
But turnkey packages, it's not limited to the software packaging. We also provide a package of hardware, like a scanner, like a writer, like a printer, anything linked to for example, VeChain ID and all the information.
Or you can just order the chips from the portal, right? And we can deliver it to most of the countries.
At this stage, this kind of product is those enterprises they onboard through us, but later on we'll open up this products. Like if for example, like Made for Goods, they are an IT company doing traceability, they will be using this product and onboarding their own client.
And they can put more complicated business logics or apps with that. So really targeting the different levels of the developers.
Well, I think that's all the questions. So I think it's
it's
almost
the right
1
time.
hour.
It's 1 hour.
So thank you very much. So if you have any
And
feedback.
look, stay tuned for DevaCon information.
Right.
And hope to see you soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.